want to hear something from Kath about some sappy thoughts.
Okay, so this is my moment to shine, and this is not meant to be a comedy skit, so no one think that I'm trying to be like Lisa, because it's not a comedy skit. This is
dead serious.
This is my true feelings.
This is
and
dead serious.
living with these, I don't know how to describe them. These cynics. You guys are all.
I'm not a cynic.
Okay, they're not total cynics, but all of them have this element of like aversion to sap in a way.
True.
Because it's gross.
But I have no aversion to sap. Me and sap, no boundary.
BFFs.
She's like a tree.
So, I'm going to share some thoughts for all my fellow saps out there. And everyone who's a cynic, you can stop watching right now, because you might throw up.
Oh, I love when she turns viewers away. Oh, sorry. I thought Pam was gone. Anyway.
Whoa, Lisa has multiple characters.
Yeah,
okay.
don't insult the readers.
For today's segment, I made a list, which is called 5 Reasons That I Love Laundromats.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I'm being serious, so don't think I'm kidding like Lisa. Okay. See, Amy sometimes sympathizes for like 10 seconds. Okay. So the first reason is that you get to use quarters. And I think that's really cool because quarters are, okay, I'm trying to really get into my personality, but I've been suppressing it for so long around my sisters.
Let it out. Let it
out.
Anyways, quarters. I just think quarters are so cool. It reminds me of the past, like the Great Depression. People used to buy. Why is that a good thing? Because I used to read historical fiction when I was a kid. And you could get like a loaf of bread for 10 cents. I used to go to this pizza place and I was like 8 and I was like, oh, it's so cool. You can buy a piece of candy for 10 cents. And I was like, oh, I wish we could use coins more.
Are those days.
So anyway, quarters. Laundromats are the place where it lives on. My second reason is that you can bring a book to read. So you get to get away from technology. Unless
Can't
you
read
waste
anywhere else.
your 2-hour cycle on your phone. Why would you do that at a laundromat? Come on. The opportunity for you to get in touch with who you were meant to be. You can read. You can knit. You can draw. You can write a story. You can do so many things in the laundromat. It is your opportunity to escape the world. And here's the part where my sister said I was bragging. Here's another thing. They always think I'm bragging, but I'm just being honest and telling the truth.
I'm just being
For instance,
I'm not bragging.
No, listen. Because we've been on tour, we've been to laundromats.
Already bragging.
No. I'm stating a fact.
All right, let the
stating a
woman
fact.
speak, let the woman
We've been to
speak.
laundromats all over the world, and I think it's cool to see all the different types.
I've been to laundromats all over the world.
What? It's true. Because I'm the main person. I like doing
I'm
the
glad
laundry.
you have.
Thank you. There's some secret supporters here. Secret supporters. They don't show it. It's not allowed. No, just kidding. It's not that deep.
Name. Her name's Lauren.
Oh, and Amy.
Oh, wow.
Okay. What? Okay, anyways. So, yeah. I love the beauty and the eclecticity. I don't know what the word would be.
Variety?
The variety.
Add that to the list of words Catherine makes up. Eclecticity.
Eclecticity.
Oh, gosh.
There is a running list of words that Catherine makes up.
Usually
What's
I
the one she made up
eclecticity.
yesterday? It was a mix of pang and
pinch.
She said a pinch.
She said
I thought that was a word.
Listen, she said, I felt a pinch of horror.
a pinch.
Wait, that is a word.
No, a pang
No,
and
she
a
mixed
tinge.
together pang and tinge.
No, pinch.
No.
It's a word.
I'll
Okay.
look it up. Keep going.
Okay, anyways, reason number 4, the atmosphere. It's just this magical atmosphere. The hum of the machines. Those little dispensers where the detergent comes out. There's just always like this element of charm. Even if it's a really rundown laundromat that smells like mold, which I was in the other day.
Wait. Why were you in a laundromat the other day when we're at home and we have machines?
I don't want to say that.
Ooh,
so bad.
You felt like you were bragging?
Under the bus. No. Anyone's laundromat that smells like mold.
All right.
But it's not their fault. It's filled with water.
It's not their fault. Anyway.
And the best people watching at laundromats. Okay, last reason. This is the King Kahuna of all reasons.
King Kahuna.
So,
I think it's the big kahuna.
see, I can't say anything without the peanut gallery giving me a correction or a suggestion or a criticism. Okay, anyways.
We support you.
So the King Kahuna of all reasons is that clean laundry is the best thing ever. I don't know about you, but when I have a clean load of laundry, I feel like I can accomplish anything. It's like I have clean clothes for the week, or maybe even longer, and I don't have to worry about it. It's like, oh, it's the best feeling ever.
Unstoppable.
Someone comes to Catherine, they're like, gosh, I'm just so down. I'm losing my direction. I don't know what to do. And she's like, you just need to do your laundry.
I'm not from Australia. So yeah, those are my sappy thoughts.
Wow,
for
that's
today.
amazing. Good job, Catherine.
Good
That
job,
was
Catherine.
very interesting.
You know what? Very brave.
So today's topic is more of a story rather than a list like last time. Today's topic is cleaning your bathtub.
Can
And
I say I really agree with this one? I love it.
see, I think Amy's on my side here. I really do. I'm really feeling the support. So let me take you back about 3 months.
You clean your bathtub every 3 months.
No.
Okay,
This
good.
was, no, this was the first time I
Amy,
discovered.
stop interrupting.
What are you doing? Tinny, are you okay? The wonder of cleaning your
There's
bathtub.
too much sap
She's
in
hiding
the
Shut your
room.
peanut gallery mouth.
Hiding from the cringe.
Please. Okay. So I was experiencing an illness. You know, the flu, cold, can't really remember. And I felt like death. And so I decided to take a bath. And lo and behold, my horror grew because I took a bath and my bathtub wasn't even clean.
I thought you were gonna say like
gross.
lizards.
And so I laid on the floor in a pile of flu, and I was like, you know what? I was like, put my hand up in the sky. I was like, I can do something about this. So I consulted my trusty favorite medium, YouTube.com.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Wait,
a
I have to say
website.
something. A thing about Catherine.
Wait, I was gonna
She
say.
loves to Google everything or
No,
YouTube everything.
She YouTube.
And
No,
listen,
because you want to know why?
Listen,
Oh,
she
another
doesn't
thing,
use the YouTube
doesn't
app.
have the
She
YouTube app.
goes to YouTube.com
Safari.
on her phone.
Okay, anyways, Lisa's
That's
exposing
important.
me.
That's
I am not
important.
some tech-savvy wizard. Sorry.
Download
Okay. Anyways, here's the reason why I prefer YouTube over Google. If you Google how to make your sheets white. Oh, really? So let me see your tips and then try them. They don't even work. But a YouTube video, you can't lie because it's right there on the video.
Yeah, there's no editing.
No one ever
So
lies
someone like
in
color
video.
corrects it. Okay, anyway.
When you're in court, they say, "Do you swear on YouTube?" Yes.
Can never lie with YouTube.
Okay.
This is
what did I
true.
say
We
about
never
the peanut
lie.
Let's
gallery?
move on. Let's
Shutting
move
their
on.
peanut
She YouTube
Okay.
how to clean your
Anyways,
bathtub.
trying to tell my story.
It was a long tangent.
I went to YouTube, the trusty YouTube, and I scoured for probably an hour and a half, honestly. I just wanted to find the best and the baddest. And I found this remedy to my bathtub. And it was called like Miracle Bath Clean. I don't know. But anyways, it is heated vinegar, baking soda, and blue Dawn dish soap. You just
Wait, that sounds so good.
thank you. Give me a high five. You spread it.
do so well.
You spread it all over. You got to heat the vinegar in the microwave. Spread it all over your bath. And then they said let it sit for like 3 hours, but I was like, oh, I can't wait that long. So I just started scrubbing away all the dirt. Magically, it just started running like Lisa in the morning.
Oh my gosh! Like Lisa in the morning as she's coming into the house from the night before. The cops are after me.
Wild child. Okay.
I know
Anyways,
Lisa's really not wild.
the moral of the story is that I took before and after pictures, sent them to my
Moral?
family. They
Shut
were
the front
floored.
door.
They were floored. They were like, "Wow, how did you achieve such a
I
high
was
level
not
of friendliness?"
floored.
They were not.
How to throw the perfect dinner party.
Oh my gosh.
I've been crafting this segment since I was a wee 18 years old.
Oh.
And it all started with my favorite author, Shauna Nyquist. If you know me in real life, I mention her probably at least once a day.
She does.
She
Um,
literally does.
She's very inspiring. And I made, this wasn't inspired by her, but I made this playlist and it was called Dinner Party Extraordinaire. That's where it all began.
She's had it for years.
I have.
It's a
really
good
have.
playlist.
I have. I've gotten so, not to brag, but I've gotten so many comments from people. So many bad comments. Just kidding. I've gotten so many good comments. People like, "Wait, what playlist is this?" Is like they thought it was like a real like. Wow.
She turns around. She has glasses and a beret. It's actually my own.
Yes, I'm French. Okay.
And a giant spotlight
So,
just shines on her.
That being said, that was the birth of how I began throwing the perfect dinner party. Okay, so number 1 is invite quality people. You got to think about who you're inviting. Do they know each other? Do they gel?
Do they know you?
Okay, this is Catherine's segment.
Okay.
Not you.
Do they know?
Because that's a good first step. Just think about it. People are all like, it's just like a bunch of chemistry. Are you guys even listening?
It's for the readers.
Do you
okay?
even care?
It's for the readers.
Okay, it's all about the chemistry. So, like, you put in, like, a loudmouth like Lisa with, like, an intellectual like our brother Alex, and then you just kind of get,
I am
get a little
also
zest.
an intellectual. Continue.
You
Okay,
are. You
okay.
are. But, I would say you're more of a loudmouth. Okay, in a good way. In a good way.
But
she's
sometimes
funny.
she's a quiet mouth too.
Yeah.
Most
But
of
mostly
the
she's
time.
You hope that she's in that mood.
Yeah, unless
No,
she's in a weird
here's
mood, and then
Amy.
she'll never
This
speak to
is
anyone.
Catherine's
Sorry.
thoughts.
Never mind. Keep going.
Amy wants her own Sappy Thoughts segment, apparently.
All right, so number 2, you gotta cook good food. Now, if you need cooking lessons, I could gladly help you. I love to cook, but I would just say keep it simple. Okay, this is kind of a theme of the whole thing. I can't take credit. Sean and Nikos really inspired this for me, but it's not a performance, okay? You're not trying to be this. No, it's not. You're not trying to be this grand chef, tossing the pizza in the air, spinning it on your finger. You're just trying to be yourself and invite people into a safe place where they can conversate and enjoy each other's company. So make sure your food is tasty and, put your best foot forward, but don't try to impress people with your food. Just keep it simple. All right, number 3. This also goes into what I just said, but this is having an inviting atmosphere. Now, your home, okay, it's a little weird maybe if you have like old food strewn everywhere, but
Probably.
it's not
Just a
once
little
again,
weird.
Once again,
Bacon on the
This
floor.
is something Catherine walks into often. Old food everywhere. She's like, that's a bad dinner party.
She's like, that's a little weird.
no. Listen, so, but once again, it's not a performance.
She
So
has like a checklist. Like, bad dinner party everywhere you go. That's what you do when you're at your friends.
no.
Continue.
No, I'm just telling you my ideal. I'm not comparing it to some fictional bad food place. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
all right.
but it's not a performance, so you don't need to make your home this deep cleaned haven. Okay, my mom, bless her heart, but she would always have me like, well, she wouldn't have me. I guess I would kind of do it just because of her, perspective. But she would always, encourage us to deep clean our house before we had guests over, which a lot of people like to do that. But I really think just make it like clean enough, because if your house looks like a museum that's sparkling and pristine,
Just get all the rats out.
Yes.
and I almost said the anchovies, but they're called what are they called? Those creepy bugs? Roaches.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
anchovies out.
We have never had a roach
Or an
a rat
anchovy.
in our house.
Or an anchovy.
We
Also
haven't
had
had many roaches in our house because all our relatives
were
have the
many.
last name
Oh
Roach.
my gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't
I
have
like to
rats
say
in
that
my
I'm trying to
son.
describe a good dinner party, and you're talking about
Rats and
Rats.
roaches.
And anchovies.
Anyways,
Okay, let's get
now
on.
that our readers are thinking about freaking rats running around my dinner party, that is not a thing. Okay. So the last thing is the final touches. Like the sprinkle of sugar, the sprinkle of salt. Well, I like a lot of salt, so I'd be like, get that salt on there. But the final touches are, like I said earlier, the playlist. You gotta have a good playlist. I should post mine on Twitter because it's pretty pristine. Pretty pristine.
Make it on
It really sets the mood. You want some playlists like Lisa in the car, like hard rock, like because then everyone's gonna be like, trying to chill. But you also don't want some like weird like hip hop playlist where everyone tries to feel cool and like I got all this money.
All right,
Like
all right.
it's not
I
about
hear
that.
the shade. I hear the shade.
Oh my gosh.
That was
she
not for you,
directly
Danny.
mentioned me and did not mention your name.
Danny, have you
Look,
ever had
I
a
just
dinner
want something to be about me for once.
Okay, let's see. What kind of a roast can I get? No, I'm just kidding.
What kind of a
No.
roast? Because we're talking about dinner parties, dinner
Okay, but yeah, gotta get that playlist. And also, last thing I'm gonna say is light some candles.
Ooh, yeah.
That will really add to the environment. Oh, also fresh flowers. That's
Yes.
It's an investment, $10 you might not want to spend, but I think it adds a lot. So,
All right.
those are my tips.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Have a good dinner party.
That's amazing.
My segment today is called "The Best Thing About Having a Best Friend."
Oh,
Wait, no, sorry, that was not wrongly named. The Best Things. It's a series. Okay. Number 1.
Oh gosh.
You can say anything you want around your best friend, and they won't judge you. Hopefully, hopefully you have a
They
friend as
better
good as
not
mine.
judge
Okay,
you.
we'll say this is the ideal best friend.
Yes, which I live my life through a prism of ideals. So that's what I'm describing here. But yeah, your friends, okay, as I mentioned before, a bad friend is someone that criticizes you all the time. There's a huge difference between someone having a genuine concern for your behavior, like, oh, I noticed that you're doing this and I'm really afraid you might be hurting yourself. That is that's a good friend. But a friend is just like, oh, you're going to wear that? Interesting choice. Like, those little like jabs. No. So, anyways, I love the feeling of a few women that I've encountered that I hold close to my heart. And I just can say, I can be my sappy self, I can be my weird self, I can be my messy self, and they just lap it up, like a dog.
That's
Lap
so weird.
with a bowl of water. It's
Daddy,
just
I don't like that.
they take it in, and I take it in for
hated
them.
that.
I don't like it.
I give it back to them. Like, we give it to each other. All right, number 2.
I hate this.
You guys are gonna die, so just brace
my
yourself.
gosh.
Okay.
Wait, this is just the second
Poser.
point.
Hold on, go ahead. Okay, the best thing. is best friend hugs.
Wait, that's not bad.
Because think about it, your best friend hugs are the best because it's like you're so happy to see each other, and like especially if you live in different places, like me and my friends, it's just like this long hug of where you just feel so loved.
No, I agree.
We start looking at each other like
agree.
this.
I don't connect with. I don't.
We both had a
I don't
moment.
connect with my friends through hugs. It's like texts.
Yeah.
I'm very like physical touch love language person. So
My old best friend was just like
Give me a-
Lisa, so I
Actually,
didn't really
don't
get
let
that.
go.
I could relate,
yeah.
Depends.
All right, this is the best
but
one.
I still can connect on
My
that.
friends are like our knees bump.
No, I don't have
All right, this is a good one. Inside jokes. I love this.
I
you,
do too.
With your best friend, like you just have these things you say, and you just look at each other. My friend and I made a really weird joke the other day. Where she was sleeping over at my house for like a week. She was staying in town, and she would always say to me, she's like very sappy like me. She'd be like, "Angels on your pillow" before I went to bed.
What does that mean?
And then it means just like sleep with the angels. Like,
oh my god.
so then I had to add some zest to it, and I was like, wait, I need to do my response, and I was like, fairies on your earlobes. What? And then we were doing an afternoon nap the next day, and I was like, what's the afternoon nap version?
We were doing an afternoon nap. I just
And then
went
I have to
deaf.
give her credit. She came up with this one. It was gnomes on your toes. That was our afternoon nap version.
Wait, Catherine actually is a preschool teacher, and her friends are all her students. She's like, angels on your
I didn't even make that up. Sarah made that up.
gnomes on your
So I would just like to say that.
Angels
See, clearly
on
no
your-
one else gets it. 'cause
Wait,
it's an
I have a
inside
question.
joke.
I have a question. When would you say this? Like
You-
you're going to bed and
You're going to
just
bed,
like,
you turn off the light, you lay on your pillow, you're like, good night, love you, angels on your pillow.
Gnomes on your toes.
It's like a thing people say. I've heard it before.
I've never.
All right,
I've never heard
last
that.
one.
all right, let the woman finish. Go.
Last one. This is a really deep one. Knowing that you're not alone and that you always have someone you can confide in. Your crush texts you back. You text them. Your crush doesn't text you back. You text them. You run over a
Bunny.
no, don't say that.
Sad. You need support.
You run over an
rock.
article of clothing, and you just need someone to confide in. They're always there for you,
yeah.
no matter what. Okay, today's topic is how to prepare for your first date.
Oh god.
In general or with the person?
Shave your legs, shave your arms, shave your eyebrows. Just kidding. Don't.
Like, in
Is this
general?
Lisa's corner?
In general or with one person?
It's just your first date with any new person. So like,
Got it.
not your first date ever, because that's a one-time occurrence.
No, but this is a
So,
part of that too.
I'd like
that
to
applies
start
to-
out by saying that a first date is a very specific thing. Like, it's different than any other date because you don't know this person, so you are at your all-time nervous. Like, actually, maybe you do know them. They could be your friend that but even then, you're transitioning from friends to dating. That's still really awkward. So this is an awkward situation. Let's just say that right off the bat. Get the elephant out of the room. So you gotta
Get the
prepare
elephant
yourself.
out of the room.
If you
Bye.
I have this weird thing where sometimes I don't mentally prepare myself before I do something, such as traveling. Many times we have traveled, and I don't really think about the fact that I'm traveling until I'm on the plane, and then I
I
get
thought we
this.
were talking about dates.
No. I'm doing an analogy. It's a roundabout.
Okay.
Okay, you guys aren't even listening. Okay, so I do this thing where suddenly I'm in New York and I get this horrified feeling. I'm like, I'm in another state, and so you don't want that to happen to you on your date. So I like to say,
You don't want to end up in another state.
number one,
This is true.
mentally prepare yourself.
Look out the windows when you're driving. Make sure you know where you are.
No, not when you're driving there. Before
Let Catherine
Before
talk.
you get in the car. So the first step is mentally prepare yourself. Just think about it. What's your strategy? You got some good icebreaker questions? Or are you one of those people, no offense, but these people are really annoying. They just sit there and expect you to carry the entire conversation. You really think that's a good strategy? No. I don't really know about that. If you're with the world's best conversationalist, then yeah, that'll work fine. But otherwise, not going to work. So you got to get your strategy. Get yourself ready. Get yourself pumped up. Number 2, physically prepare yourself, okay? You want to feel at your best. So this doesn't mean you need to pretend to be this person that you're not. But I'm just saying, like, put a little effort into your appearance.
Take a shower.
Yeah, your hygiene. Okay.
Deodorant.
For me, I like
Brush
to
your
really go all out with dates. I don't know why. It's my opportunity to shine. So I like to, do a face mask, do my nails sometimes. Just kind of all over like fun. Lisa mocks. I always do my nails sometimes. And just do those things that make you give yourself a little extra sparkle. so that when you walk through that door,
Like highlight.
you feel like you can hold your yes, exactly. Put your highlight on. You can hold your head high. The last thing I'm going to say. Prepare yourself emotionally.
Ooh,
I don't know
girl.
about you. Maybe you just lived this perfect life. You never had a ruffled feather. You have no anxiety about anything. Well, that is great. I'm happy for you. Good job. Me, not so much. I am definitely a more anxious person, so I have to really talk myself, like, get myself ready. Emotionally, the best thing to do is like journal. Journal how you're feeling. Prepare your feelings for your date.
Truth.
So that when you get there, you've already sorted yourself out. You're in the zone. You just tell yourself, okay, it's just a date. It's not the end all be all. I don't have to get married. I don't have to freak out about commitment when I'm not even committing to anyone. I'm just going on a date. And I'm not going to judge the heck out of them. That's another thing I like to say. Don't judge people based on...
For stupid reasons. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, like...
Lisa.
Think,
We're going to have a whole discussion about this.
Here's one quick thing. Don't judge someone on something they can't control. Their height, really? You're going to judge someone based on something they literally can't control. Or
Lame.
like, if you're really into psychology, their birth order. That's something we're all
I
guilty
say you
of.
should
No.
judge them on their birth order.
Well, it's not your
I disagree.
segment.
Yeah.
This
So
is now
anyways,
Christine. Just kidding. Keep going.
be open-hearted. It's a date. Have fun. And really, when it comes down to this, the last thing I'll say.
Oh.
It's all about human connection. You're just a
You're
human
right.
being. This is another human being. You can enjoy getting to know someone and hearing their story. You don't do this weird, no offense, maybe you like flirting. I don't like it. I think it's really fake. Unless you actually know someone, then it's fun. Because then it means something.
This is
But
a
when you're-
refreshing perspective.
When you're getting to know someone, just genuinely get to know them. Tell me where'd you come from? What was your childhood like? What was your
Where'd you-
upbringing? What do you like to do? What are your passions? Like, ask those great questions. That goes back to the conversational thing. So
You're like,
good luck.
where'd you come from? They're like, my mother's home.
Where did you go?
Where'd you
Anyone's
come
going on
from?
a date with
Cotton
Lauren,
Eye
don't
Joe.
ask her
All
where she
right. Those
came
are some great tips.
Great
Thank
tips.
you.
Great
Love
notes.
them all.
All
So-
from Taco Bell.
The perfect breakfast starts with a perfect morning. To me, the perfect morning, you wake out of bed. That's not correct. you bounce out of your bed, and you just have this feeling of buoyancy. You're like,
I do that.
You're like, yeah. You're like, this is gonna be a good day. Usually I start it with some music. You guys, these ones know. I'm usually walking down into the downstairs, my phone in my hand, always playing a song.
This is true.
It's my trademark.
No matter what time it is. Anyway.
Yeah, I do feel guilty. A lot of times it's like 8 in the morning and Lisa's in her room and I'm like, oops, and I turn my music off. But anyways, start your day right. Some music. Open up the blinds, let a little light in. And I like to wake up in a happy environment in my room. It's very joyful. But then I approach the kitchen and I just, light up the grill, which is the electric
Grill.
stove that we have.
The electric stove.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, light up the grill and put a little sizzle of olive oil.
On the stove?
Now, there's many ways you can achieve the perfect breakfast. Even if you like oatmeal, I'm gonna let that slide. If you like oatmeal, you gotta do you. But I will tell you what my perfect breakfast is. Excuse me, I like to speak. Okay, my perfect breakfast. You gotta start with the ultimate breakfast item: eggs. Danny,
I
can you
agree.
please not
Hey,
do that?
I agree with you on this.
I love eggs.
Okay, you got your eggs, and then you got to get your sides. Bacon. Oh, sorry if you're vegetarian. I'm sorry if I offended you. But
Or me.
but I love bacon, and I get emotional thinking about how much I love bacon, and I crave it many, many times a week. Also, got to get a little hash brown action going on there. Some avocado. Some avocado.
Oh, yes.
Avocado is the essential breakfast
With
item.
eggs.
I disagree.
It's so good.
It's so good. And then fruit. But if it's my plate, ain't no honeydew, cantaloupe making its way on there. Get that stuff away from me. What I really am all about is the berries and the strawberries, watermelon. Oof, so good. And then coffee, my love. I love coffee. And orange juice. Gotta have
Very
both.
long take.
Perfect breakfast. There you go. That is the perfect breakfast. And then just get the ambiance going. Put on some music. Maybe light a candle. Also, if you can do some reflection. you can do some reflection. I like to bring a journal, maybe like some
I do that.
a positive devotional that you can
I
read.
do that, yeah.
Enhance your breakfast with some good thoughts. Start your day right. Do it every day. Your life will change.
True.
The whole first half of the
Wow.
segment was getting up, and then you went to putting olive oil on the grill. You never even mentioned a frying pan.
Not the stove.
I get a sizzle of olive
my
oil
God.
going.
And now we have our follow-up segment. Lisa's list of
Also-
discrepancies.
I'm adding to Lisa's list of discrepancies, and I'm saying that she said buoyancy, which
means you
is a
can
physics term
What?
when something like floats in like water.
You wake up with a bit of buoyancy.
No, I swear that it's not just physics.
No,
I think
but
there's
that
an
makes
abstract
sense.
term.
That makes
Okay.
sense. You're
Like buoyant. It's like
and
yeah.
bouncing.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
see,
any-
Lauren gets it. Lauren
Well,
gets it. I get
any
it.
English scholars, please write into us via Twitter.
Please
with,
don't. Please just keep your thoughts to yourself.
hashtag Cimorelli podcast and clear this up for us, please. We need you.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. You can do that.
Wow,
I'm not gonna stop you.
what a wonderful segment.
That was
Riveting.
great. I enjoyed
Glad
it.
to hear from you.
All right, this story, this segment has a twofold approach. So the first fold is on the north corner.
Like fat.
Okay. No, I'm thinking
Sounds
of
like Miranda sings.
Did I ask for your commentary? No. Okay. So the first.
Skinful.
Oh,
Guys,
you're
stop.
ruining my gratitude.
Sorry, okay, keep
So this
going.
is titled "The Magic of Gratitude." So I stumbled upon gratitude when I was around the age of probably 17 or 18. I had this little polka dot notebook, and I challenged myself to fill it with gratitude. I didn't fill it, but I did get to like 648 or something like that. And I just wrote down a list of all the things I was grateful for, like random things that like apply to the universe and just things that were specific to my life. So that was my first dabble in gratitude. And then one day later, I read this awesome book, probably like when I was like 20 or 21, and it was called 1,000 Gifts by Anne Voskamp. And it talks about how she was going through a hard time and she challenged herself to find like the gifts that she already had. Instead of focusing on all the things she wanted that she didn't have, she focused on the gifts she had already been given. So she challenged herself to write down 1,000 things she was grateful for. So then I came upon my list again years later. And I remember one day I was just making this list of all these things I was grateful for. I didn't really think too much about it. About 24 hours later, and this is weird because I feel like gratitude has like a delayed effect. I was just, going about my life, and I really think it started in the cornfields because I just love cornfields so much. They really make me happy. Yeah.
I love a good field.
And I was driving through these cornfields, and I just felt this rush of pure joy. And I really think that joy was directly correlated to that outpouring of gratitude. So there's just a direct correlation there. Also, to
What happened 24 hours later?
I felt joy, all this
She
joy,
felt joy, that's
out of
it.
nowhere in the cornfield.
In the cornfield.
Where'd you go, Indiana?
Also, the second
You
part
found
of the
100 bucks or
cornfields,
something.
the second part of the cornfields, the second fold of this story is I was at a turning, wait, not a turning,
A turnpike?
a fork in the road.
Tournament.
Thank you.
Guys, let the woman speak.
I was at a fork in the road where I was really hoping to move from Los Angeles to Nashville, and my family was kind of like on the fence about it, and I was freaking out about it. Like, I want to go to Nashville. I hate LA. I need to get out of this hellhole. And I was driving through those same cornfields, and it might have been the gratitude had a lingering effect years later, but I just remember that I looked out into those cornfields and I had this sense of peace, and I was like, if I'm forced to live here, I will find a way to be happy. And I started to just focus on, I think I just thought of it again, what I was grateful for. And I felt peace. Like, I'm just going to find peace here, even though I hate it. And then Danny called me that morning. I was at breakfast with my friend by the cornfields. And she told me that we were moving to Nashville. My friend and I were in the parking lot. We started jumping up and down. I was crying.
Oh my God.
And yeah, that is, it all goes back to the magic of gratitude. It's like accepting what you have, finding the joy in it. So
Changing your mindset.
hopefully that uplifted you a
I
little.
have an
Wonderful.
off-the-record question. Just where were you? Where were the
You ain't
cornfields
on your
relevant?
cornfield.
Camarillo.
Your
See?
mouth.
No, it's
is-
not for the podcast. It's just a question.
Yeah, Camarillo.
Oh, there's no cornfield.
Okay.
Yeah, there are. There's like fields.
Well, that was Sappy Thoughts with Kath. So, today's segment is how to give the perfect gift.
Oh.
All right, the number one rule of gift giving. Oh man, I wish I could just stamp this on everyone's forehead. All right, do not give someone a gift that you would like, okay? Please. It's about them, not you. So, number 1 is pick out a gift your friend or whoever relative would like, not you. Not your style, their style. So, to figure that out, you have to take a look around. Are any of their clothes paisley print? No. Then why would you give them a paisley shirt? You know, that kind of a thing. Unless you maybe have a gift or anticipating something someone would like that's very different than what they have. All right. Number 2 is you need to do a little bit of stalking. So,
It's called recon.
so this is what I do for my friends. A few months before their birthday or Christmas, whatever, I take an extra look. You know, open up my ears, listen around. What could they need in life? Oh man, I'm really running low on chapstick. Ding ding ding. I will get you some
Amazing
chapstick.
gift.
Or something even more like one of my friends was like, her car key thing broke, and so I got her this really cute like keychain that she had for like a year. So you know, gotta listen closely to what they might want. All right, next, you gotta spend your time doing research to find the best possible version of what you're getting. You know, you could just run out last minute and grab a journal, or you could be like, what's like a cool, you know, interesting, unique, custom journal, you know, something cool. Give it some spice. Give it some finesse.
I'm just gonna add something, even though this is Catherine's thing. Personalizing something, you know, DIYing, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It really brings it close to your heart, and people tell you really put some effort into
Let's
it.
add that. DIY gifts. See, I'm an on the fly kind of girl. DIY gifts are a blessing. My actual favorite gift of all time was a box that my friend like stained for me with her dad, who was like a wood making person. And so she like stained this huge box. And
He's God. He makes wood.
He's a woodpecker?
Wood comes from trees, Lisa. Trees make wood, okay?
No, trees just are
God
wood.
makes
So
trees.
anyways,
Trees just are
DIY is
wood.
extra credit. That is great. All right, next one, presentation. All about the presentation. If you got a great gift and you wrap it up in a trash bag.
Excuse me, it's still a great gift.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait,
Amy's
I'm not
only
talking
saying that
about...
because she doesn't know how to wrap presents.
Guys, I'm not saying...
We hit a soft spot.
I'm not saying how to get by with a gift. I'm saying how to go to the next level. Okay? So you gotta get that good presentation.
So are we in an elevator?
Okay. Anyway.
Stop trying to deflect from the truth. Okay, anyways, 1 year, not to toot my own horn, but I mean, no, you know what? This is not tooting my own horn, because usually my presentation is just kind of, you know, it's good, but it's not really stepping up to the next level. 1 year, though, I was going for it. I don't know what got into me that year. I just had a twinkle in my eye. But I decided to get a roll of brown craft paper.
I remember this.
And I wrapped all the presents in brown craft paper, and I got these glitter bows and glitter ribbons, and then I stamped everyone's name with like
Oh yeah, that was so
a
cute.
black stamp. So it was like black
That was
craft
intense.
paper and glitter. Maybe I'll do that
It
again
was
this
so
year.
cute.
Who is she?
You know. All right. The last piece to the puzzle, the cherry on top, especially for people like me with a love language of words of affirmation. Gotta wrap that thing up with a card. You're gonna need a great card. Spend your time. Pick out the one that just matches the vibe. TM.
Or make one.
Oh, I should do a segment on cards because I could talk
Yes.
for
Oh my
hours on reading
gosh.
cards. All right,
Yes.
stay tuned. But yeah, so just write them a nice card expressing your heartfelt feelings. And that's really going to be the last thing that's going to take that gift to the next level. So there you go, guys. How to give a great gift. Hope you're inspired. If you want to practice on someone, send me a gift. No.
Okay.
Wow. All right, today's topic is spring cleaning your interior life. I really don't know where I come up with these topics. They just pop into my head, and then I'm like, oh, yeah. Yep, that's the one.
Not even spring, lady.
It's almost spring. I'm getting people prepped. Okay.
we can't even hear you. Not on your
So,
mic.
okay, let me just preface this. You know, we get bombarded with all these messages of people. You know, Instagram, you want to have this aesthetic, like, you want to have all the great pics. You want to have, like, this, you know, this look. And your fashion, I get it, you know, it's important, it's good. You want to have, but what about your interior life? This is the thing that no one sees but you. So, the thing is, yeah, you can have this awful interior life and maybe a great Instagram, but you're going to slowly die inside. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to clean yourself out. All right. The number one thing I want to share with you is it is in my opinion, one of the best things you can
I can see one eye.
I don't like my interior life.
Okay, one of the like number one things I think you can do to live your life the best way ever is to think deep thoughts. Think about like how like the opposite thing is told to you, like in all, like everything. Twitter is all about shortening your thoughts and making them as short as possible. Like you're just constantly scrolling and clicking on these short thoughts that are usually pretty shallow. The way that you can combat that, I'm going to give you some tips right now, because I think thinking deep thoughts is one of the best ways you can spend your time. I'm a poet, so I'm just like a rare bird, like in the way that I see the world, because I actually wrote this. This is actually a poem I wrote when I was 17. It was something like, being a poet is simply this: seeing the magic in the world and believing that you have to write it down. And I'm just unapologetic about that. I feel like this is what has like brought me so much joy in life, is that I have the ability to look at an ordinary situation and see meaning and beauty and like to think about it. And some of my favorite moments in life are when I have like a playlist called Think, and I just like to go on these long walks and just like ponder, like even like just the weirdest things. Like sometimes I'm just like, my mind is so weird. I'm like, what if this happened? I'll just think of this random situation and I'll just play it out for like a really long time. Or I'll think about a relationship or a situation in my life, and then I'll think of like a million different outcomes and like how, like I usually think in a lot of ideals. So that's kind of like my way, is like, okay, what is the ideal relationship? And I think of every facet of it and like, how can I have that? And I'll think about that. Or I'll be like, am I truly living my purpose? And I'll think of every category in my life of how I can get better. So the biggest thing I want to impart to you from my little speech is that thinking deep thoughts will bring you so much joy. Like getting off your phone, maybe just using your phone to have a playlist, but not actually going on it. That's what I do. And then there's a few other things I wanted to say that will add to this, to the effect. Number one, go in nature. Go outside, go on a walk in a beautiful place, and it'll start inspiring some deep thoughts in you. You would be surprised how much happier you will be just simply going outside. It makes you so happy. We're meant to be in nature. We're not supposed to be in these little boxes we've created, homes. I mean, yeah, they're good to hang out in sometimes, but you are meant to be
to sleep
in nature. Yes. Just go sleep in your box and then get outside. Unless it's like raining, I guess. Get an umbrella. All right. Reading. A book. Oh my gosh, a book. What the heck? Books. That's all I have to say. Books.
Okay, good.
Read. Okay, this is a weird one. You guys are going to make fun of me. I don't give a rip. Okay, so there's two things that I believe feed not only the body, but also the soul, and that you can ingest. One is tea, and one is soup. So have some of those. Just make yourself a bowl of soup and just ponder it. I'm not kidding.
Ponder in your soul.
It will. I'm not even kidding.
Wait.
No.
Ponder the soup.
I'm being dead serious.
Oh, this is chicken.
Eating soup will make
Chicken
you
broth.
think about life. Just try it. Try it.
Okay.
See, you probably are on your phone. You're eating soup. That's why
This
you
has
didn't
some
realize it.
rice.
Wait,
You
how
got
do you,
carrot?
how do you ponder the soup?
Stop thinking about it too much. You have to actually just do it, okay? And then tell me I'm wrong. 'Cause
Clam
I'm not.
chowder. Good
And then
taste.
The last thing I'm gonna say is,
Amy, this is
I
Kath's segment.
heard somewhere that water inspires creativity. So take a bath, or
Yes.
go next to a river. But taking a bath is easier because you probably have a bathtub. You might not have a river. So go in the bath, put on your thinking playlist, and just lay back.
Or
Think
just
about
turn
it all.
on the water in your sink.
Yes.
And just
Very
look at
creative.
it. Look, water inspires
Wait,
creativity, right?
whoa,
That means
whoa,
all
whoa,
water.
whoa. Is
Just
this,
look at
is
your
this
water bottle.
Danny's thoughts? I don't think it is.
I want to paint.
Yeah. Just pour some water on yourself.
No, I'm serious.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Yeah,
is
that's all I
that
gotta say.